So today I decided to go visit my grandparents, and first stop I needed to get some flying saucer pies because my grandfather loves the lemon cream pie from there. So he's going to be super excited when I show up with these. So we get there, and of course he has to talk about all the old photos. My grandmother wanted me to make breakfast, and of course I always oblige to my grandmother's wants and needs. So today, as usual, it's going to be Mexican chorizo with egg. In the meantime, my grandfather loves to give things to my husband, and of course he gave him this spiffy suit. And my tia Diana said, "Move out of my way, I don't have time for your vlog." But look at this. The breakfast is ready, so I'm going to make a whole bunch of tacos for everybody. And here's my abuela. She loves the butter-flavored flour tortillas from mi tienda. I love this lady. So after making all these tacos, it's time to eat. I know this is a simple breakfast taco, but it just, something about my grandmother's house and the taco with the coffee, it's so good. So my grandfather, again, is giving and bequeathing things away, which I get it. He's at that age where he thinks he needs to make sure everyone has a little something before he goes. We love him. But check out these sunglasses. I like them. I love having conversations with my grandparents, and at some point, I already know my grandfather wants me to take him to his favorite seafood restaurant, Golden Seafood, and he loves to get the sopa de marisco or just the seafood soup that's there. He insisted on carrying the food, so there's Grandpa. And of course, I had to stop at our local Mexican bakery because my grandfather loves to get the tamales and sweetbread from there. And now we're back home, and now we're just enjoying their company. And my kids, they absolutely adore them. Here's a quick video for Mexican style rice. Here are the ingredients. Go ahead and screenshot that or show my YouTube channel some love. Here I'm going to rinse 1 cup of rice in cold water. I'm going to grind up my own cumin seeds and black peppercorns. I'm going to toast the rice over a medium-low heat. Now I'm going to add fresh onion and saute. I'm going to add garlic, saute. Now I'm going to add that ground cumin and black pepper, give it a mix. 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon powder. Now I'm going to give that a mix and add half a cup of tomato puree or tomato sauce, 2 cups of water. Gently mix, don't overmix by the way. Bring that up to a simmer, cover with a lid, and once it starts to boil like this, you'll want to lower the heat and cook for 18 minutes with the lid on. Do not lift the lid. After it's done, I'm going to shut off the heat and let it sit with the lid on for 10 minutes. Then you'll want to lift the lid, fluff, and serve. This is so good. Today I'm making rajas con crema y elote. This is so easy to make and so good. In a pan, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 small onion sliced, 1 ear of corn that I cut away the kernels, a pinch of salt, cracked black pepper, and I'm going to saute for 5 to 7 minutes. Now I'm going to add 1 clove of garlic minced and 3 poblano peppers that I prepped. I fire roasted, peeled the skin, seeds, and stems. Now I'm going to saute. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder, combine well. Here I'm adding 8 ounces of sour cream, give it a mix. I'm going to add half a cup of heavy cream. Here I'm using Mexican table cream. I'm going to combine well. I'm also going to top with 4 ounces of Oaxaca cheese. I'm going to cover with a lid, let it melt for about 5 minutes, and it's done. Serve this on top of rice, with chicken, pasta, or in a taco. It's so good. Let's make fideo loco. I'm going to show you a quick short video on how to do it. Here's the ingredient list, or you could check out my YouTube channel and show some love. Here I'm going to blend up 3 medium tomatoes, water, chicken bouillon powder. I'm going to blend it into a tomato salsa and set aside. I'm toasting my vermicelli noodles. I'm adding onion, ground beef. I'm going to add pepper, garlic powder, ground cumin, onion powder, and some fresh garlic. I'm going to continue cooking and mixing. Now I'm going to add in 3 small diced potatoes, give it a mix and saute. Now for the tomato salsa, extra water to make it soupy. I'm going to add salt and pepper to taste. I'm adding epazote, a little bit of cilantro, bring it to simmer, cover, and cook for about 10 to 11 minutes. Now I'm going to add 1 can of drained pinto beans that are cooked already, give it a mix, and continue cooking until the potatoes are tender and everything is cooked through. I like to add lime and hot sauce and enjoy. Now it's time to make this cute Pink Panther horchata drink known as La Panteda Rosa. Here I have 1 cup of pre-rinsed long grain rice. Add 1 cinnamon stick and 3 cups of water for it to soak in. You're soaking it so that the rice, you can press it and it breaks. Glass pitcher, 12-ounce can, that's 354 milliliters of evaporated milk, sweetened condensed milk for sweetness, Mexican vanilla extract. Gonna add like 1 or 2 teaspoons. Now I have delicious creamy horchata. I have just about a pound of strawberries. Just gonna add a little bit of sugar, maybe just a little bit of water. Today I'm going to show you how I make tostadas. So in a pan preheated over medium heat, I'm going to saute potato, carrot, and onion, a pinch of salt, give it a saute for about 5 minutes, add some garlic, saute. I'm going to add a pound of ground meat, garlic powder, onion powder, ground cumin, black pepper going in. I'm going to add some beef bouillon powder. I'm going to cook the ground beef. Now I'm going to add green onion, give it a mix. I'm going to add a 1/3 cup to 1/2 cup of water and let it cook until the potatoes are done. I like to fry my tostadas by taking corn tortillas and frying them till they are golden brown. I'm going to build this with refried beans, the picadillo, fresh lettuce, tomato. I also like to add some cheese, salsa, this is a homemade salsa, and I'm going to add some Mexican crema. And it's done. Now enjoy! Let's make some fideo con pollo. So here I have around 2 pounds of chicken. I'm going to season it with some seasonal seasoning salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and ground cumin. Now I'm going to add oil to my pot. It's preheated over a medium-high heat, and I'm going to brown my chicken. It's going to take maybe 3 to 5 minutes on each side. Give it a flip. And then once both sides are browned, I'm going to cover with a lid. I'm going to lower the heat, and I'm going to let this cook for 12 to 15 minutes. At this point, the chicken should be almost cooked through, about 95% of the way, and I'm going to remove it from my pot. And in the same pot, over a medium heat, you'll want to lower it, you'll want to toast some vermicelli noodles, or fideo. Now I'm going to add some onion and saute. Next, I'm going to add 2 to 3 cloves of minced garlic. Here, I'm adding 1.5 tablespoons of chicken bouillon powder, some ground cumin, cracked black pepper. I'm going to saute quickly and give it a mix. Now I'm going to add 8 fluid ounces of tomato puree. I'm also going to be adding around 32 fluid ounces or 4 cups of water. I want this soupy. Give it a mix. Pick up some of the fond from the bottom of the pan. Before adding the chicken back in, you'll want to taste for salt and adjust to your preference. Give it a mix. And now I'm adding my chicken back into my pot. I also like to add fresh jalapeno to this. I leave it whole, but that's optional. Once it comes up to a simmer or a boil, I'm going to cover with a lid. I'm going to lower the heat and let it gently simmer for about 12 to 15 minutes. And now it's cooked through and you can enjoy. This is how I make sopa de fideo con pollo. Let's make flautas or taquitos. Not sure what you like to call them. Here I have some cooked shredded chicken. Season how you like, give it a mix. For my corn tortillas, I lightly coated them in cooking oil and microwaved them until softened. I created a paste using water and flour. You could also use cornstarch. Fill the corn tortilla, roll it up, and towards the end of the roll, you're going to add that paste, and this sort of glues it together. Place it seam side down and repeat the process. Once cooking them, you're going to place them seam side down in your fry oil and cook until they are crispy and golden brown. Once they are cooked, I like to sprinkle them lightly with salt, but that's optional. I'm going to create a green avocado salsa with green salsa, avocado, water, pinch of salt, and puree well. And once this is done, it's time to top your flautas however you like. Now enjoy! Hear that crunch? Crispy tortitas with potato and tuna. So good. I'm gonna separate 4 large eggs. Try not to break the yolk here. And yolk. A 5-ounce can of tuna. I also have 1 cup, this is about 225 grams of leftover mashed potatoes that I had in my fridge. I'm going in with some cracked black pepper, some paprika, some salt, is garlic powder, onion powder. Now mix and combine well. I'm going with a heaping tablespoon of cornstarch. So stiff peak, see how they stand at a peak without falling? Half of the egg whites, the rest, and just repeat the process until everything is combined. I think I'll do 3 at a time. Just gonna put a little bit on here. Crispy. Let me show you what I made for dinner. It's so good. And they're not cooked through just yet, but they're just kind of cooked on the exterior to get some color and to get some fond on the pan. 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter, a medium onion, 3 cloves of garlic, 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. You want to cook the flour. Okay. Now I'm going to add 3 chipotle peppers and 1 tablespoon of the adobo sauce. I'm going to slowly add my 2 cups of chicken broth, 4 ounces of cream cheese, ½ cup of Mexican table cream, maybe like 1.5 cups of sliced grape tomatoes, and like 2 to 3 cups of spinach. Wilt that down a little bit. And smells so good is cover this and let it simmer for another 10 minutes on a low heat. We got to make sure the chicken is cooked through. Okay, so this is definitely done. I'm gonna shut off the heat, and this is ready to serve over your favorite rice recipe, mashed potatoes. You can do this with pasta. It all works, and it's so good. I'm gonna finish it off with a little bit of dried parsley. You could use fresh if you got it. I'm going to make fresh banana milk. I have 2 ripe bananas that I'm going to put into my blender cup. Evaporated milk. I'm going in with just regular milk because I'm out of evaporated milk. There's a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk going in. Some ground cinnamon, a little bit of cold water to make sure that it blends up. Vanilla extract. Here I have some Mexican vanilla extract. I'm gonna pour it into my pitcher. 2 cups of water, the rest with ice. Mix. Check out my YouTube channel if you want to get other fresh milk with fruit ideas. I just posted a recipe video, my top 5 fresh fruit milk drinks. So good. Cheers. Okay, so cheese all going in like half of the onion. It's the cheese and onion for me. My salsas. The corn tortilla, give it a quick little dunk dip, and now you just, there you go. Use this to kind of flip it. Cheese and onion. There we go. Let's just do this. This will be easier to kind of, there we go. Add a nice egg on top. I'm gonna do that. Ta-da! A delicious, easy enchiladas breakfast. Garlic, ground cumin. Now I'm gonna add a tablespoon of chicken bouillon. This is granulated chicken bouillon powder. Can of tomato sauce. Residual. And let's do that. Pepper, just salt going in. Cover it with the lid. That'll bring it up to simmer quicker. And just, you know, you flip it and let it get toasty and crispy. I'm going to lower the heat, but you'll want to let it gently simmer and boil for about 10 to 13 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to shut off the heat, and my fideo is done. So I made this soupy. So this is more like a sopa de fideo. My family loves it when I make this. So good. Yes, is it like a tablespoon of this? And put it in here. Cup of hot water. Let's see. I'm going to just pour over my coffee, over the ice. Okay. Cream or half and half milk. And then I go with like a teaspoon of it. Well, I'm going to carefully give it a mix. Okay, you guys. So that is my confession. Instant coffee for my iced coffee. Ground beef, potato, onion, garlic, like a half teaspoon of salt. It up and sauteing. Here I have a puree. I added 3 Roma tomatoes, a half teaspoon of cumin seeds, 3/4 of a cup of water, 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder. You can also switch that up for beef bouillon powder. Get into my ground beef. Water, like a half cup of water into the blender cup. Give it a little swirl here to get any residual out of the cup. A little teaspoon of dried cilantro. If you've got fresh, chop it up and add it. This is going to bring down the temp back up to a simmer. Cover with a lid and let it cook for about 15 minutes. This is definitely done. You want to taste it for salt, seasoning. This is a quicker, easier way in my opinion, and it's so good. So in the winter of 1995, I got to see one of my favorite bands, Green Day. My uncle had purchased an early Christmas gift for myself, my sister, and my cousin at the time, and we had floor front row tickets. It was amazing. And at one point in the concert, some goofball threw their shoe and it hit Billy Joe Armstrong's guitar. I believe it hit his hand and he had to stop playing. He got after the crowd, but then the concert picked right back up. At one point, somebody was crowd surfing and their foot landed directly on my face. At the end of that concert, I'm pretty sure I had hearing damage, I lost a fingernail, and I had a bruised face. But when we got home, late that evening, my grandmother had made enchiladas suizas earlier in the day, and there were leftover ingredients. So I made us hot plates of enchiladas, and we talked about how awesome, wild, and crazy that concert was. Anytime I make these enchiladas, I think of Green Day and that night. Let's make some cheesy, crispy shrimp tacos. To start, I'm going to saute onion, bell pepper, pinch of salt, saute until softened. Now I'm going to add 3 cloves of minced garlic, give it a mix, 1 pound of shrimp seasoned with Old Bay seasoning, smoked paprika, Mix and cook through. It's not going to cook very long. Now I'm going to warm in hot grease corn tortillas, add Oaxaca cheese, shrimp, more cheese, and cook until the cheese is melty and the exterior is crispy. I'm going to make a butter Tajin lime sauce. Here I have 4 tablespoons of butter, a 1/4 teaspoon of Tajin, the juice of 1 lime. Give it a mix, and now you can add it on top of your shrimp tacos, and it's so good. Be sure to follow my YouTube channel for more recipes, and maybe, I don't know, show some love.